Approximately 8 months ago, I started my programming journey. I told myself, all right, I'm going to learn Python, become a programmer, and launch my business. That did not go to plan. 5 months in, I still did not know how to code, like in all seriousness. I had no programming knowledge. If you compared me to some new guy in programming, we would have been indistinguishable from each other. And not knowing much programming 5 months in, like imagine you did not know anything after trying for 5 months. Nonetheless, I started to look around and I eventually found my way. Like I eventually started learning JavaScript and realized that I was doing everything wrong. And that set me on my way to eventually right now, I'm about to launch my first business and everything is good. I'm able to code and everything's well. And it wasn't until I applied the things that we will talk about in this video that I eventually went from like being an awful programmer to a good programmer that is good enough to launch a business. So maybe you're in this position where you've been learning code for a while, or if you've never learned and you're looking for a roadmap, well, this is exactly what you're going to get in this video. We're going to cover my routine, the curriculum, as well as the hard truth that you need to hear in order to be a programmer, because it's not easy. So there are 4 things that we will cover in this video that will make this full guide for you and eventually make you a good coder. That being identifying your goals, your routine, the curriculum, and at the end, the harsh truth. The first thing that you're going to want to do in the start of your programming journey is identify your goals. What is it that you want to do? Is it start a business? Is it to work at a company? And more deeply, what type of job do you want? Do you want a back end, a front end, a full stack development, web development, AI? Identify what you need to do. This is a big mistake that I did and a lot of programmers do. And more specifically for myself, at the beginning of my programming journey, I learned Python. Don't ask me why. I thought it was the sickest thing. You're going to learn Python. Everyone was doing Python at the time. I was a dumbass. And I just did Python for 5 months without identifying my goals. And eventually I got to the point where I'm like, why am I doing this? This is not even what I want to do. So do some research. Identify what exactly you want to do. I'm really emphasizing this and I look really stupid. But exactly what is it that you want to do, because it'll pave the way for the rest of the video. And without a goal, you really don't have much potential in this field. Know what you want to do so that the rest becomes easy. The next thing is to write down your curriculum. This is the what you're going to do and the timeline of what you're going to do. Now, I made a separate video on the full curriculum, so I'll leave it somewhere around here. And I also have a web development roadmap, and it's mostly for web development. So I'm sorry if you're like AI or Python developer or you aspire to be so. But by having a curriculum, you have the structure that schools give us. Schools have a lot of slack. Everyone likes to blame education. The one thing that it's done good is give us routine, which us humans need. And what a lot of developers that fail do is that they go straight into it without a plan. Take a step back. Once you've had your goal, now it's time to write out the curriculum. So again, if you're in Python, for example, watch some videos on a full roadmap to becoming a backend developer. Again, if you're a JavaScript developer or you aspire to be a full stack software developer, watch some roadmap videos like the one I did, but there's a ton out there. Without knowing what you need to do, you can't do the thing. So this is very key, okay? Make a curriculum. It doesn't have to be perfect. You can fix it along the way, change your mind about some things, but just have something in place so that you kind of know what's going on. So the last 2 things in this guide will be the routine and the harsh truth. These are just recommendations, but I recommend following it because it'll make you so much better. This is what took me from being like a mediocre developer to actually launching my business. So the first thing is your routine. Without a routine, you can't do much. As a programmer, you should probably be coding every day, and this may hurt a couple of you, but it's the truth. Coding is a habit, and if you have a non-technical background, you have to work twice as hard as the people that have computer science degrees. Now, my current routine consists of 3 to 4 hours of programming per day, 6 times a week. But for you, that may look like 30 minutes or 1 hour per day. But I totally recommend you just code every day because you just build up a habit, you build momentum, and it's just an awesome way to make programming easy. Also, identify what time and where you're going to do the programming. I code downstairs in my living room and I code from 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. every single day. No ifs, ands, or buts. I recommend writing it down, maybe in a schedule. I do it on Notion, but this routine is totally underrated. No one does this. I'm telling you, it's such an underrated trick if you want to get ahead of the pack. Now, the final thing is the harsh truth. That being, you're gonna have to code, okay? Programming is applicable. It's not theoretical. You have to apply what you're learning. If you're just watching videos or you're reading books on programming, you're not going to get much out of it. That's like watching someone bike and thinking you're going to be a good biker, or watching someone swim and trying to swim after. You're going to drown and end up dying. Don't do that. Okay? Start applying. So a good routine, if you want kind of to build upon the last, is to learn every day. So maybe watch a video, watch a tutorial, and then the back end of that learning session, you apply. So what that may look like for you, if you're doing JavaScript, maybe watch a video on for loops or whatever it may be, okay? And then after watching that video, apply what you learned in that video. That is such an awesome way to learn things and build upon the last. A reality is that it's gonna take hard work, okay? So if you are a non-technical person or you're just coming into code, understand that this will take time. You have to build a portfolio per se of you just coding every day, and slowly, I promise you, there's gonna be a time where you're gonna go from not knowing shit to being like, oh my god, I understand this. I can actually speak the language. It's a really great feeling, and I hope that I brought value to you in this video. Again, identify your goals, build a curriculum, build a routine, and you realize that you have to code. These are the 4 main things that took me from not being able to code and spending 5 months on Python and not really doing much to now I'm about to launch my first business, which I'm really excited for. And yeah. So again, if you did get value from this, please let me know. And if you have any more questions, please leave me a comment. And yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.